Yes guys, just here back with another video, and today we're just gonna go over the Bitcoin price. And you can see right here that we have been squeezing up on the weekly time frame with that wick over there. So it looked like a bit of a bearish engulfing, not the perfect one before. However, right now it was a bit of a shakeout as outlined on the last video, and you can see we're bouncing exactly as predicted over here. So that is really great to see, and that's the long opportunity I talked about last video that we're taking advantage of, and at the minute it's looking like we're about to break out. So just going over the DXY, you can see it's pushing up on the 6 hourly time frame. However, it's finding a bit of trouble here. It's losing some momentum. So hopefully if you can perhaps create some bearish divergence and then your RSI starts trending downwards, you're going to get maybe a return to this area of support over here for your DXY. And then failure to actually hold that level, you could look for DXY to start to break down. But if anything, on the monthly time frame on the right hand side of the chart, you can see we're still in the upwards parallel channel, which is bearish biased. And if you do start to retest this trend up here and this parallel channel mid-range level of resistance, that would be a great opportunity to actually see the DXY top out and perhaps wick into this 200 EMA that may start to actually flatten out a little bit like this. You push up and then immediately deviate, and then that will be considered perhaps a local top where the DXY can start pushing down, which allows easier buy pressure for the Bitcoin price. You can see here that we have a nice fat big candle, and this is what I'm expecting. So on the higher time frames, you can see that at the minute we're still in our bull flag pennant over here, and it's direction neutral. However, it's more likely to break up as we've had a previous move up. So we're just waiting for that breakout. We've tested this resistance so many times, so it's only a matter of time now before we get that squeeze upwards. You can see over here as well, we have the downward sloping parallel channel, and you can see we've tested it many times. This is another circle over here, this one too, and it just outlines how many times we've tested this level of resistance. So it's only a matter of time before we actually break above and start to actually rampage up on our higher time frame. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing there. And you can see over here we have our support levels that derive from the last cycle, your stop and reversal points. So these areas are something to watch. Lower levels are not off the table, however it will be uncomfortable, and it may come from a flash crash, some war related news, who knows. But there's something to actually bear in mind, and just to be staying cautious, and maybe to get some sneaky orders too, as I assume if you do get to those levels, you're not going to spend a lot of time there. There's going to be a lot of wicks within those key support areas. So I'll mark off around 60k again, and then you have 56k if you do come to fill that minor CME gap that we do have, and then you have 50/51 if you want to come and fill this wick a bit more. But let's continue over here. This is what we outlined last time, and we had our downward sloping trend, and I did mention you can come down over here to your previous week's low and mid, and then that will be a shakeout and your higher low, creating some sort of divergence here, which should provide buy pressure, as you can see now. And we're having a nice candle upwards, and I assume this is you know, ignited two of news. We started to actually bounce yesterday, so you can see that hammer candle over there. However, it's Friday today, we had some PPI come out, so it's supporting the move up too. You can see stocks is absolutely pumping over here, and then you have your Russell 2000 pumping too. So let's continue. So just looking at the chart again, you have your 9 and 18 EMAs that are angled down, and you have the 21 exponential moving average, which we just reclaimed. So we need a strong candle close, preferably from the 4-hour and upwards, to kind of confirm a shift in momentum. So I'll just go to the daily time frame, and you can see this is a trend off of the bodies, just to remove the outliers from the wicks. And you want to see a strong close, and you'll have your EMAs actually start to angle upwards to provide some support, your 21 exponential moving average too, and then you can actually throw back and use that as some more support to actually start to see price actually rampage to your 70,000s. But We are in those long positions at the minute right now, so that was your long opportunity. Bit of a falling wedge over here on your 12-hourly time frame, and you do have bullish divergence on this chart over here, which held the price to move higher. So let's just see what happens here. You have your previous week's mid level of resistance, which is the next point to watch. So that is what I'm seeing, and this is what we outlined in the last video. You had a nice sweep of your previous month's mid and your week's low, an immediate buy pressure that came from there. I did mention that you had your 61865 golden pocket of support over there. So if you were to actually wick in there, that was a buy opportunity. It's been front run a little bit. It's not off the table if you do come to your resistance point here and then maybe have one more wick down. So that's something to watch. I'll adjust this and we'll review it next video. However, I expect something like this, as the data just suggests that there's majority shorts in the market compared to longs, and historically Q4 has been very bullish. So I'm just keeping a bullish bias right here and just evaluating what price actually uncovers. So that's pretty much it. You have Ethereum as well over here, so you can see that on a high time frame it doesn't look that good. If you break below this level of support here, then it's going to be looking very ugly for Ethereum. But we are approaching this resistance. You may get one more buy opportunity if Bitcoin decides to move to those $50,000 areas, and I expect us to actually break up as well. So that is pretty much it. Let's have a look at the on-chain data. So you have your funding rates, which are extremely low and even negative. So you can see Solana negative funding rate on Binance, and you have different coins too that are extremely low, if not negative. And you can see your 24-hour long to short ratio. You have 49% longs and 50% short. Earlier was a bit more, but you can see the majority are short. So it's something to watch. The liquidity is stacked towards the upside. So yesterday or early this morning, the liquidity was above us, majority was above us, and it's just been grabbed now as we've pushed up. So just going on the weekly time frame for the liquidation heat map, you can see over here it's just loading that you still have a lot of liquidity above us, and it always moves to the majority of the liquidity. You have a bit here below us, but not as much as above. So I'm just waiting for that push up. And then you have your crypto fear and greed index over here, and majority was fear. Last time I looked at it, it was around 32. So let's see. Yep, so it's still at 32. So majority are scared. They've been kind of shaken out. Attention's low. Majority are shorts. So I expect us to have a massive move upwards. And just looking at Crypto River's tweet, so this is support for Ethereum at the minute. You have that green box here. If we lose that, we're absolutely finished. I expect Bitcoin to actually return to those 50,000 levels, if not 48,000. However, I'm just remaining bullish due to the data that we do have on the higher time frames. Just some news to watch out for the lower time frame traders that trade the altcoins. You have Elon Musk actually come out with some new versions of technology that he's actually working on, which is super cool to watch. So Tesla looks decent in the longer term, of course. I do expect a bit of a buy the rumor, sell the news. So in terms of crypto AI, it's just something to bear in mind for the longer term. I think attention will come towards your AI coins very soon, but for now, just focus on Bitcoin and seeing what the charts do present and how we could take advantage. But for now, we're in our long positions. We're just going to hold this 2 hour range highs. 71 is where I am out at a 1 to almost 10 risk reward ratio. And then I would look for a scenario like this where you tag your range highs, but potentially have a flush, and on the reclaim, that's my long opportunity there. So yeah, that's something that I'm watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any questions, leave them in the description below, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next update video.